Oh no. Oh shit. Act natural. Just act natural. I'm a normal kid that has done nothing wrong. Wait, no, I'm not a kid. Do something natural and also adult. Damn it, I don't know what that is. I'm like the least natural person on the island. What do adult women do? Make out with Rowan? No, wait, gross. Ask. It's too late. He's already here. Chinemancy license? The Templar asks Rowan blandly. The con artist's mouth twitches in an annoyed smile. Right here, sir, he answers, fishing some parchment out of his pocket. Murmurs of annoyance ripples through the crowd. Chinemancy? Illusion magic? A number of people start to realize they're being scammed all at once, departing in anger. With 2 words, the Templar has probably ruined Rowan's business in this part of town for a month. The Templar grunts, looking the paper over. Yep, you're clear. Sorry to bother you, sir. Just my job. No problem, Rowan murmurs back, plastering the fakest smile he can manage on his face. The Templar doesn't seem to notice or care, handing Rowan's paper back and continuing on in the direction he was walking before. Once he's out of sight, I let out a long breath I hadn't realized I was holding. I'm going to have to work on not looking so guilty, considering how very guilty I am. Well, that's probably enough work for today anyway, Rowan says glumly. Come on, Vita. Let's bounce before someone starts thinking they can demand money back. We can demand money back? Someone asks. No. The 2 of us exit down an alleyway. I don't complain, I'm in no mood to keep going after that scare. Besides, I'm exhausted. From the looks of things, Cragscar Island will be passing overhead soon. The yellow sky glows eternal, presumably in accordance with the Mistwatcher's will. Clouds sometimes form and storms sometimes blot the sky, but only when other islands pass overhead does the land experience true darkness. Cragscar is a massive stone island, named as such for its tall stone cliffs with jagged swaths of blackness cutting through it like a wound. The island is large enough and moves at just the right speed for a 6-hour nighttime when it passes overhead. Perfect for finally catching some sleep. I walk back to the shack with Rowan in silence, but I'm more than okay with that. Silence gives me time to think, and thinking is something I definitely need to do. Firstly, Mistwatcher, I have to ask. What am I? Why am I like this? The Mistwatcher gives people their gifts, yet my gift is hated by the Mistwatcher. One of those 2 things has to be false, fight? Or is it just false in my case? For all I know, I'm some special chosen one, granted the Mistwatcher's own power. Of course, I could just as easily be the opposite of that, created by some force other than the one that makes everyone else, some antithesis to life itself. More likely than all of that, there's just something I'm not understanding correctly, and I'll feel like an idiot when I figure it out later. If the Mistwatcher knows, it doesn't answer. Ugh, damn it. Religion has never fed me, and now I'm a heretic for existing. Why did I even bother to ask? I have something now, at least. I have power, I have a talent. As frightening and horrible as it is, as much as I wish I could have any other ability, I will take it. It's better than nothing and it's the only bone I've been thrown my whole life. I just have to be careful. Zombies are a major problem. I can't go around making them without people finding out sooner rather than later. But is there any way for someone to detect I've eaten a soul? Sure, I seem stronger to people with senses like Lynn's, but people get stronger naturally as well. It wouldn't inherently point to necromancy, even if someone notices how fast I'm growing. Eating souls is also, well, enjoyable. I want to say tasty, but that's not quite right. They don't really taste like anything. They're not physical, and my tongue doesn't register them. But the feeling I get from ingesting them is wonderful. From the way they break apart sliding down my throat, to how they plop into my awaiting spirit and dissolve away into raw power. Power that then becomes mine. I shudder. Try not to get into the habit of it, Rowan had said. That might be hard, when killing makes me feel so alive. Fuck, am I thinking like this already? No. No, I won't just accept that that's all I am. Magic is a tool, and I'm its wielder. Besides, if I let myself become a monster, I'll be hunted down like one. The sudden, rapidly falling nighttime shakes me from my thoughts, and I'm relieved it does. The massive island of Cragscar will soon block the sky entirely, casting the town into near total darkness. As is, We're currently caught below its penumbra, a dark shadow of light's absence that bends below every island. I at least don't need to wait for my eyes to adjust, as Rowan is prepared, conjuring a ball of dim light in his palm. Kragskar is one of hundreds. Well, probably more like thousands? Maybe more? Anyway, it's one of many islands that fly through the sky on the same predictable orbits. Just over 8 hours after Kragskar passes over, the mist thimble will bring 4 hours of darkness and rain as it floats overhead. The mist thimble is particularly beautiful, a sort of bucket-shaped island with streams of water which pour constantly out from its sides. I've always wondered how it never runs out. It casts great rainbows when viewed from a distance, and the showers of warm water it pounds on the streets can be a beautifully welcome sight to the many people like me who've had to fight for a fresh drink. 20 hours after Mist Thimble leaves, another island will pass over, and so on. Countless islands are visible just by looking up during the day, and I have absolutely no way of knowing how many are below our island. I've never been anywhere near the edge, and if I try to talk to a scholar or something I'll probably get my ass kicked by the city guards. I doubt I'd even believe there was an edge if there weren't. You know, sky islands flying around everywhere. I finally make my way back to our crappy little shack, greeting and jostling aside all my fellow orphan brats. Of course, I am a full head taller than most of them and quite a few years older, so I really shouldn't be considered in the same sort of category. Okay, so I'm still pretty short, but you try to get tall while constantly starving to death. It doesn't work. Eventually I sidle myself underneath the little pile of blankets on the floor that I call my bed, keeping my clothes on for safety and warmth. A wad of extra clothing is all I have for a pillow as well, but hidden safely inside that wad is my stuffed toy bird, Roscoe. I'm not sure what kind of bird he was supposed to be originally, but so much dirt and grime has collected on him that I've just taken to calling him a crow. I've had Roscoe for so long, I can barely remember where I got him. They don't leave toys like this out where someone like me could steal one. If I recall correctly, someone was bringing their kid through a bad part of town, and the kid dropped him while their family got mugged. Everything of value was taken by the muggers, but Roscoe here. Well, he's certainly valuable to me. People like me don't get to own things. We hardly even get to like things. I had to protect this little stuffed doll with my life sometimes, steal him back from other kids when he got stolen, get in the type of fights normally reserved for the final scraps of food. All just to have something I could squeeze when it was dark outside. I squeeze him hard now, just thinking about it all. He is, and always will be, my most prized possession. My first friend. No matter how childish people think it is, they can't understand what he means to me. Though I can't help but wonder. If I can put a piece of my soul in a dead crow, can I put a piece in a toy crow? Can I bring my friend to life? The thought runs cold through me, a certainty in my bones. Whether it's impossible, whether it's some horrible facsimile of what I want. It doesn't matter. I have to try. I shouldn't be thinking about this, let alone doing it. I am a walking blasphemy. A danger to everyone I know. But you know what? Fuck it. Lynn said this is part of who I am. That I could use it. And if there's a whole branch of magic all about messing with souls, they couldn't possibly be as sacred as the church claims. If the Mistwatcher has a fucking problem with that, it can get its ass up here and tell me itself. I reach inside and splinter my soul once more, pulling out the shard, invisible to the eye yet glimmering to my heretical senses. What's the difference between an object and a corpse, really? Slowly, carefully, I push the shard into Roscoe. It fits. The little toy bird has a soul in it. I can't resist a giddy laugh as I feel spirit tendrils expand through the little stuffed body. It twitches awkwardly, flopping its useless little wings around. I did it. Roscoe, my friend, is moving. He's alive. Hug, I order softly. Grubby little black wings reach out, squeezing my all-too-thin torso. Pulling Roscoe in, I hug him back, my wonderful little friend. He's been my companion for so long. I've hugged him like this so many times, and now he can hug back. Tears well up in my eyes. After everything that happened today, after being nearly beaten to death, after murdering a man, after discovering my existence is illegal, after eating a human soul, this is what finally makes me cry. Screw it. I'll waste water just this once. I finally, drift off to sleep. I wake up sweating, a terror heretofore unknown freezing my body solid. It's still pitch dark. A slimy feeling passes over me like a giant, monstrous tongue. Invisible, intangible, it drips nothingness as it winds around me. I am alone. But it's there. I feel it, searching for something, passing over and around me. Until it touches Roscoe. It passes through Roscoe. And it plucks out that little shard of my soul I hid inside him. Then it descends, down, down, down into the mists, taking that tiny shard with it. Half a minute later, I start to breathe again. I sleep no more that night. I don't know how much time passes. I don't even realize it's light out when Kragscar departs. Something shakes me and I gasp, panic flying through me for a few seconds before I consciously recognize what's going on. Hey. Hey, Vita. A familiar voice calls, worry heavy in her voice. Lynn. I ask, tears I never realized I was shedding falling down my face. Immediately, the thief pulls me in for a hug, holding me tight. She's warm, both in body and in soul. I feel it as she holds me, both strong and soft as it pulses inside her. It's much, much larger than any other soul I've touched before. Even though she's alive, I feel it as she holds me. Yeah. It's me, Vita, I'm right here. I'm shivering and numb, eyes bloodshot and drooping. There had been. Lynn, I did something and. Lynn, Shh, it's okay. It's okay, we'll figure it out. But we won't talk about it up here, okay? Let's get you downstairs, okay Vita? I finally managed to register the rest of the room. The kids of the shack are sitting and standing around me, looking concerned. A few of them have their little hands grasping parts of Lynn's clothes for support. You okay, big sis? One of them murmurs. You wouldn't get up. We had to find Lynn. It wasn't truly there. I couldn't see it, I couldn't hear it, I couldn't feel it, for it was not real in the way I understand reality. It went through the floor like an illusion, through the earth, through a dozen other islands deep below. But not through me. With my new senses, I knew the false thing, and it knew me. It grasped my body, winding around me, twisting with the sort of bored curiosity which one might roll in between their fingers. But this was no person, and the chill touch of its idle violations did not distract from its true purpose. A soul was found, a soul was taken, and my soft friend died in my arms as the thing slithered back into the nothingness whence it came. Vita. Lynn calls, shaking me again. Hey. Stay with me. You're okay. I've got you, you're okay. Calm down, honey. Breathe slow. Slow, Vita. Oh. I had been hyperventilating. I try to focus my attention on Lynn's words as best I can, calming my breathing. In, out. In, out. That's right. That's a good girl. You're safe, kiddo. Not a kiddo, I manage to murmur. Lynn laughs. Hey, there you are. You back with me, Vita? I nod slowly, blinking to clear my mind. I am back. I am here. I certainly am not safe, though. Yeah. Sorry. You got nothing to apologize for, honey. Lynn gives me another quick squeeze and stands up. You gonna be okay now? I've got to get back to what I do. I swallow, choking out the next bit. Why yeah. Lynn? I think there might be something. She puffs out her cheeks, looking nervous. Okay, Vita, is it like an immediate danger thing, or can this wait for a few hours? I really gotta go. Oh. Of course she's busy. Right. I don't want her to go. I feel like I am about to burst into tears again or worse. Yet. What could she do if it came back? Nothing. Not a damn thing. So she may as well go. It can wait. Okay. Perfect, she says, nodding quickly. Kids, Vita is allowed down below by herself. The rest of you are not allowed down there with her. Head down if you need to. Practice or something, Vita. But do not do anything unless you are sure it's safe, okay? I nod. Okay. Good girl. See you later, kiddos. Lynn turns and rushes out of the door at crazy speeds, leaving me with the other orphans. Letting out a shaky breath, I fumble around with my covers and eventually find poor Roscoe. I give him a cataclysmic hugger-squeezer, cuddling him hard and rocking him left and right a few times before finally letting go and hiding him back in the wad of clothes that serves as his nest. Maybe some other time, Roscoe, you will live. Not a kiddo, one of the other orphans says in a mocking imitation of my voice. The rest of them burst into laughter, prompting a heavy blush. Tossing my blankets at the offending brat, I get up and promptly decide to take a walk. To clear my head of the horrifying eldritch friend murder, obviously. Not because I'm embarrassed. The many winding, maze-like alleyways are easy enough to find a place to get lost in. Not lost, I know this city well. Mentally lost, with the rhythm of my feet on the stone guiding my thoughts to wherever they may go. Yesterday doesn't feel real, but it is. That power is still inside me, and I still have to decide what I'm going to do with it. I have no answers for that yet, but at least the walk is nice. It's been a long time since I actually wanted to walk anywhere. Being constantly malnourished did not exactly make moving an appealing activity. I'm still pretty full from yesterday, though. Whatever slop that healer gave me to eat was incredible. That stuff by itself almost made murdering Grig worth it. Maybe it's best not to think that way. Shunk. A familiar sound catches my ear, ever so softly. A dangerous sound, the kind street rats like me quickly learn to avoid. It's the sound of a blade sliding into flesh, probably just a block away. I should definitely turn the heck around and... Hold on. I feel something. Someone just died. It would be a shame to let the soul go to waste, right? Before I really even get why I'm doing it, I start sneaking over to the alleyway. Was this a stupid idea? Probably. But there's a soul over there. I want it, damn it. That's not even freaky necromancer instinct, though there might be a bit of that involved. Eating souls is how I get stronger. Getting stronger is how I get food. I'm so tired of being trodden on, of starving all the time. I have to take a few risks and pull myself up somehow. I get to the alleyway, peeking one eye out from behind the corner. 3 men are at the far end of the street, one of them lying with his back on the ground, clearly dead. The other 2 stand over him, a short, roundish man that isn't quite as fat as Grig but looks like he's aiming for it, and a tall, skinny man wiping down a wooden dagger with a cloth. Both are dressed in grubby old clothing, clearly not the owners of anything particularly expensive. Unfortunately, their eyes are sharper than their weapons. The fat man spots me immediately. Shit, he grumbles. There's a kid, Squigs. Shit sounds about right, yeah. They're pretty far away, but I couldn't outrun Grig, so I probably can't lose these 2 either. I just wanted to sneak up and take the soul after they left. I didn't see anything, I squeak at them both. Aha. Well, how about you get out here so we can see you, the tall guy apparently named Squigs answers. His voice sounds greasy, like I'll need to wash off just for talking to him. I don't wanna. You're gonna stab me. Squigs chuckles and shakes his head. No, nothing like that. We just need to make sure you're not gonna talk to the guards. Right, Friggs? The shorter man nods. I promise, kid. It'll be fine. Here, I got some food for you if you behave. I scowl. Liars. All the criminals say that. No one gives food away for free except Lynn. The shorter man sounds a lot nicer than the greasy tall guy, but there's still an edge to his words that's sharper than his dagger. I'm not gonna tell nobody. I steal stuff too. Fuck the guards. The pair of them grin. Please, little miss. We're not some common thieves. We don't steal. Squigs says. Stole his life, I correct, pointing at the corpse. Friggs laughs at that. She's got you there, Squigs. But seriously, little girl, you're gonna have to come here or things are gonna go poorly for you. I swallow and nod, stepping into the alley completely. I have to be ready. They might be honest. But more likely, they're just getting me close to shank the witness. I refuse to be another nameless corpse in this alley. Power moves its way into my hands, ready to rip out a soul if they come for me. They have knives, and they seem to be professional killers. This isn't going to be a drawn-out beatdown like with Grig. I have one shot and one shot only. Surprise is the only option. Kill one, animate him. Maybe animate both corpses if I can get to them. I can't let them escape after using necromancy. Better to kill the thin one first, then. He looks faster. I approach slowly, avoiding their gaze like the meek little kid they thought I was. Yet I can't help but be a bit tense. For all I know, this could be the end. No. I will not die. I'll get them first. I keep my gaze locked on their hands, ready to move the instant they This kid, Squigs murmurs to his companion. Yes, Friggs agrees. The streets make them hard, I suppose. We're really not going to hurt you, little miss. I just want to get a good look at you. Could you take your hood off, please? Shit. I'm not in range to touch them yet. I really hope they're honest. Warily, I do as instructed. Friggs hums. I believe you. He pulls some kind of fried nugget out of his dirty coat and tosses it towards me. I catch it on instinct. It smells good. Then he turns and picks up the body, throwing it over his shoulder. The soul stays where it is when the body moves, I note. If you want more food, you can come with us. Otherwise, have a pleasant day, little miss. Not little, I mumble, already biting down on the treat. It's some juicy meat thing, and it's utterly delicious. He smiles and nods politely, then the two of them turn to leave. I let them, content to finish off my tasty meal. As good as it is, I certainly don't want to follow the two murderers. Shit, they could be professional assassins for all I know. Besides, I still have something to collect here. Once they're gone, I carefully reach down and grab the human soul. It's a little worrying that this is the treat I'm looking forward to more. As tempting as it is to chow down on this immediately, though, I pull the soul into my arm for now, storing it safely. There are a few things I want to try with it. Quickly vacating the area, I wander my way back to the shack, wordlessly ignoring the other orphans and head down to the secret space below. I sit down and get comfy. I have another human soul. Before I do anything too crazy with it, I want to be able to ask the person in it for permission. Unfortunately, that doesn't work super well. First, I try to just think at it. That doesn't seem to help. The soul doesn't react when I talk out loud, either. So I start getting creative, moving the stranger's soul and my soul around in my body so they touch a bit, but still, nothing. I spend a full frustrating hour on this, and by the end I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need to stick this in a body that can talk if I want to talk with it. Which kind of defeats the point if they end up as subservient as Grig. Hey, can I subject the very essence of your being to the darkest of all blasphemies? Yes, Vita. Of course, Vita. Anything for you, Vita. It makes me shudder to think about. Frowning, I give up. I store the soul for later, though. There are a few other things I want to test. I'll just need either Lynn or another corpse first. I close my eyes and get back to meditating. I have another item on the agenda, soul sensing. I can feel souls pretty easily when they're floating around outside a body, but I can't feel anything from a living soul unless I touch the person. This is annoying and I bet I can do better. If Rowan is right, Lynn can sense the relative power of a living soul without touching anybody, and I should be able to as well. I try to focus on that sense I get when in contact with someone, trying to reach out and feel the life in the orphans up above me. But arg, it's just no dice. What am I missing? Heading back up the ladder, I convince one of the kids to sit still for me. I place my hand on his neck, feeling his soul. Such a tiny, paltry thing it is, even smaller than mine before I devoured Grig. Black with freckles of white, like drops of dye in water. I move my hand, putting it on the back of his shirt. I can still sense the soul through the fabric, though it's certainly harder. As I pull my hand farther and farther away, it rapidly gets more and more difficult to sense anything. An inch away and I start sweating from the strain of concentration. 2 inches, and I can't feel the soul anymore, no matter how hard I try. Uck. What am I missing? What does Lynn have that I don't? A substantially larger soul, for one. Maybe that's it. Maybe not. I still have things I want this second soul for, first, so unfortunately there will be no eating yet. Instead, it's time to go Rowan hunting.